You with RT live from Moscow, and some breaking news for you now. Serbian police have reportedly arrested Ratko Mladic, the fugitive Bosnian Serb army general accused of war crimes. We'll give you a bit of a history on the man now. His arrest has been sought by the UN War Crimes Tribunal for the former Yugoslavia on suspicion of genocide. It was one of the conditions for Serbia joining the EU.
For more than a decade, these pictures of the 1990s Bosnian War have been associated with Europe's two most wanted men. One of them, Radovan Karadzic, was arrested and handed over to the War Crimes Tribunal in the summer of 2008. The other, Ratko Mladic, had been on the run since 1995 after a UN court indicted him of genocide and crimes against humanity. The Bosnian Serb general was born in Yugoslavia in 1942 and made a successful career as an army officer. When Yugoslavia collapsed, Bosnia and Herzegovina were being torn apart by Croats, Bosniaks and Serbs. In 1993, the United Nations brokered a peace plan to end the infighting and keep the nationalities within one state. But General Mladic stepped in to convince the Bosnian Serbs leaders to reject the deal and push for Greater Serbia.
This map shows the front line. Only we, soldiers, see the situation clearly. The map shows our victories to date.
Mladic is believed to be behind the 3-year siege of Sarajevo, when the city was heavily shelled and many streets turned into sniper alleys. More than 10,000 people are thought to have been killed there. When NATO vowed to intervene in 1995, he promised strong resistance.
We certainly wouldn't watch those planes attacking us without fighting back. We would also attack the territories from which the planes had taken off.
Instead of a military response to the NATO air raids, Mladic is reported to have taken hostage some 1,200 UN observers and peacekeepers as a human shield. In July 1995, the Bosnian Serb forces attacked the UN-controlled enclave of Srebrenica, where tens of thousands of Bosnian civilians had found a safe haven from the Serb offensives. According to the UN tribunal, Mladic expelled thousands of Muslim women and children and ordered the execution of more than 7,000 men and boys. It's considered the worst massacre in post-war Europe. At the end of the Bosnian War, Mladic went to Serbia and lived under military protection until 2002, when the EU demanded the country give him up if they wanted further integration into the Union. The War Crimes Tribunal was certain that Serbs were still giving him shelter.
He has been there since 1998. And during all this time he has been and he remains within reach of the Serbian authorities. He can and must be arrested immediately.
Over the past 10 years, there had been several raids by secret services trying to hunt him down. Analysts said Mladic had a large support network across the country, with a portion of the population still regarding him as a hero. Alexander Shane, RT.
And just within the past few minutes here, Serbian President Boris Tadic has confirmed that the man arrested by police is the wanted former Bosnian Serb army chief Ratko Mladic. Now, for more on this development, let's now talk to political analyst and historian John Laughlin, who is waiting for us in Belgrade. And John, does the arrest of Mladic radically improve Serbia's chances to join the European Union, do you think?
Well, definitely his arrest is, as it were, the price which Serbia has been asked to pay and which Serbia has now paid. Whether it will improve Serbia's chances is difficult to say, because, of course, a lot of people will draw the conclusion that because he's been in Serbia for so long, that Serbia must somehow have been responsible for hiding him. In any case, I'm personally sceptical that EU membership is for very soon. I think Serbia will have to wait a long time, whatever happens. But there's no doubt that this is the price demanded, and this is the price that has been paid, and I think that underlines the political nature, really, of this indictment.
All right, now, why do you think we see such a tenacity from the European Union and current Serbian authorities in their efforts to capture Mladic?
Well, I personally think that it's part of justifying the European or the West's approach to Serbia over the last 20 years. That approach has been very hostile and aggressive. Serbia has been has taken the main blame for the breakup of Yugoslavia and for the Bosnian Civil War, in my view, unfairly. And, of course, the West has created a number of institutions, most notably the Hague Tribunal, whose very existence depends on proving the theory of Serbian guilt. So that really is my understanding of why they are so tenacious, as you put it, in pursuing him.
All right, so you talk about this relationship between the West and Serbia, but why did the International Tribunal on former Yugoslavia persecute mostly Serbs, while suspects of other factions of Balkan wars are very often ignored?
Well, because it fits the narrative, doesn't it, which was imposed on the Balkan conflict very early on. The idea was, for instance, that Serbia had somehow committed aggression, which is completely untrue. The main fighting was obviously in Bosnia, and Serbia itself had no role in that war at all. What we dealt with in the Bosnian Civil War was mutual attempts to secede. The Bosnian Muslims wanted to secede from Yugoslavia, and the Bosnian Serbs wanted to secede from Bosnia. And yet, as I say, on this complicated civil war was projected an idea that Serbia had somehow attacked one of its neighbours. And a lot of political capital has been invested in proving that thesis. And that's the reason why, as I say, the West is determined now to prove it with this very political indictment.
All right, political analyst and historian John Lachlan there talking to us about the breaking news here on RT. Thank you.